Welcome to this deep dive. I am your host, and today we are synthesizing a massive stack of sources. We've got market forecasts, research papers, technical protocol specs, all focusing on the convergence of AI and blockchain.
Yeah, it's a huge topic right now. I am excited to jump in and share what the data is showing us.
Right. So our mission today is to decode what we are calling the trust intelligence paradox, and figure out what the emerging agentic economy actually means for you, the listener.
Exactly, because it is going to fundamentally change how you interact with digital finance.
So think of it this way. Imagine locking your entire life savings inside a steel vault and handing the only key to an artificial intelligence. Sounds like financial suicide, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, totally terrifying.
Yeah. But what if that steel vault is an unhackable blockchain and the AI is like the most brilliant, unpredictable financial advisor on Earth? Together, they actually fix each other's flaws.
They really do.
So let's unpack this. How exactly does an immutable ledger make a black box AI trustworthy?
Well, it comes down to mathematically auditing the AI's thought process. Developers are using these explainable AI tools, specifically one called SHAP.
Okay, SHAP.
Right. But they are anchoring them directly to the blockchain. So instead of an AI just spitting out a buy signal, out of nowhere, it logs its specific decision weights on chain.
Oh, wow. So you can actually see the math behind it.
Exactly. If it executes a trade, the exact data points and the logic that triggered that move are permanently stamped on an immutable ledger. You can verify the exact variables that drove the decision.
That completely changes the dynamic. I mean,
Yeah.
we aren't relying on blind faith in the algorithm anymore. And looking at Google DeepMind's AlphaTrade, they are pushing this really hard.
Yeah, AlphaTrade is a great example. They use reinforcement learning to simulate millions of high-frequency trading conditions.
Right, so it constantly adapts to shifting market dynamics.
Yes, actively hunting for profitable outcomes. But contrast that simulation approach with what Fetch.ai is doing live on the network right now.
Fetch.ai, yeah. They use autonomous economic agents, right?
AEAs, yeah. These agents aren't just spanning for arbitrage. They actively negotiate and execute cross-chain deals entirely without human intervention.
Without any humans. Wow.
Yeah, the AEA calculates gas fees, slippage, and network confirmation times on the fly, and then it mathematically signs the transaction.
Here's where it gets really interesting. But wait, if an AEA is fully autonomous, aren't we just handing the keys to our wallets over to rogue software? Like, what stops an agent from completely draining an account on a bad prediction or hallucination?
That is a huge concern, yeah. But developers are using safe multi-signature accounts to build in a hard fail-safe.
A multi-sig. Okay, how does that stop the AI?
Well, the AI can propose and line up a really complex series of trades, but it operates under a threshold system. So for high-value transactions, a human must act as a mandatory cosigner.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the agent cannot move the massive funds alone.
But wait, if the AI is executing like 10,000 micro trades a minute, I can't physically cosign all of those. Doesn't that human bottleneck completely defeat the purpose of an autonomous agent?
No, because that is why the multi-sig parameters are programmable. You set the risk tolerance.
Oh, so I decide the limits.
Exactly. The AI handles the thousands of microtransactions autonomously within a predefined financial sandbox.
Okay. That makes sense.
It only flags you for the massive structural moves, say transferring 50% of your portfolio into an entirely new protocol.
Right. But if Fetch.ai and others are deploying millions of these agents, and every single one of them is making micro-negotiations every fraction of a second, wouldn't they essentially DDoS the entire blockchain?
They absolutely would. I mean, traditional blockchains have fixed difficulty levels and rigid block sizes.
Which creates massive traffic jams.
Exactly. So to prevent the network from collapsing under the weight of AI agents, AI is now being deployed at the protocol layer itself.
Wait, really? The AI is actively managing the blockchain infrastructure?
Yeah. Networks are using deep reinforcement learning to let the protocol kind of breathe. If traffic spikes because agents are aggressively trading, the AI dynamically adjusts the consensus rules. It changes block propagation parameters on the fly to process blocks faster. That's how we are suddenly seeing latency drop by 60%.
And speeds jumping to what, 22,000 transactions a second?
Exactly. It's a massive leap.
It is like a massive highway that uses AI to automatically pave new lanes. The absolute second rush hour hits, just ensuring your transactions never get stuck in traffic.
That is a perfect analogy. And Near Protocol takes that a step further with AI-driven dynamic resharding.
Dynamic resharding, how does that work?
The network physically splits itself into parallel processing lanes based on real-time demand.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, it boosts throughput by 50% without requiring a hard fork or any manual developer intervention.
So for you listening, what does this all mean? The era of information overload in finance, manually managing a decentralized portfolio, is ending.
Oh, it's definitely ending. Soon, your own personal AI agents will navigate these complex decentralized networks on your behalf.
Right, paying for things via micropayments seamlessly. But that leaves us with a wild thought to chew on from the 2030 projections in our sources.
The AI DAOs, right?
Yeah, the fully autonomous AI DAOs. They will soon manage their own treasuries, and because they are connected to the blockchain, literally hire human experts via smart contracts.
Which is insane to think about.
It really is. I mean, think back to that unpredictable genius financial advisor from our opening vault analogy. If that software suddenly becomes the entire C-suite of a self-improving company, will traditional human-run corporations be able to survive against a competitor that never sleeps, never takes a salary, and constantly rewrites its own code to win?